Bradley Cooper stars in the movie Maestro, which was released in theaters last November, but was just released on Netflix. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about the music in this movie. And also, we can maybe start having a conversation and maybe putting this movie into the ring of possibly the best classical music movie of all time. Now, I'm not suggesting that it is the best classical music of all time. I mean, of course, The Pianist is a really amazing movie. And I think we can maybe start having that conversation in the comment section below. Now, if you haven't watched Maestro yet, click pause on this video, watch the movie, then come back here. The first question you might be asking, how did Bradley Cooper get his training to become a conductor? Well, he actually had the help of music director of the Philadelphia Orchestra, and he was the primary person to help Bradley Cooper in conducting, and also not just conducting in general, but conducting as Leonard Bernstein, the little tiny mannerisms of Leonard Bernstein. What's great about the movie that I enjoyed watching was the actual compositions of Bernstein included in the movie itself. So you had the Second Symphony, The Age of Anxiety, which I was fortunate to perform in the violin section, which was a really amazing experience. But I also got to perform the Cotta Symphony. And a funny thing about the Cotta Symphony, that was the first symphony I've ever performed in my music collegiate career. But of course, I am by no means a movie critic. This is a music channel, and we're going to talk about specifically about the music. My first impressions of Bradley Cooper's acting was that I really felt like I was watching Leonard Bernstein. There's one particular scene that just blew me away. They have been teasing the Mahler symphonies inside the trailers. In the second trailer of Maestro, they were able to include the Adagietto by Mahler in this fifth symphony. So it is clear to me that Bradley Cooper did a lot of conducting training and a lot of coaching happened for his conducting. And what I found to be the most amazing scene out of the entire movie is his performance of Mahler's Second Symphony. Now, this was recorded in London's Ely Cathedral, which I also think it's the most fitting scene to do of this movie, because if anyone thinks of Bernstein, people think of that legendary finale where he's conducting. And I think Bradley Cooper did such an amazing job of conducting that scene. That was personally one of my favorite parts of the movie, because I remember when I was, in college, and there was a week where I actually was fortunate to perform Mahler 5, Mahler 2, and actually had a recital that same week for my junior year. That happened all in one week. I was able to perform in Boston Symphony Hall, so I know how amazing that symphony is, with the choir and the organ at the very end. The best. It's just, I love Mahler 2. However, there were a few things that I wish the movie could have done better. Like in the beginning of the movie, we were able to see Bradley Cooper in young Leonard Bernstein form. He was able to play the piano a little bit. It would have been really interesting to see some of his compositions being performed. And I know that there are many classical music scenes and classical music movies that do hire real players to kind of play the piano, and that would have been neat. I would have appreciated that a little more, but I know that that was not the primary subject of the movie. That wasn't the primary theme and topic. And knowing that this was primarily a love story between Leonard Bernstein and his wife Felicia Montealegre, of course there were some things that were probably purposefully omitted. What's also great in the movie is that they hired real musicians. I can't tell you how many times I've seen films or movies that don't hire real musicians. And actually, I was able to spot one person in the final scene of the movie with the whole orchestra in Tanglewood, and I actually went to a music camp with this person, which crazy. And I'm so glad for this person to have made it in the movie and playing the orchestra. So congrats to you. All in all, I would give this movie a 5 out of 5, which is probably means nothing to you, but for me, I would give it a very high rating. This is definitely going to be an Oscar contending movie for makeup, for scene, for set design, for acting. Possibly Best Actor award should go to Bradley Cooper this year. I'm predicting it. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it, but it's pretty high up there, really high up there. So what did you think of the movie? If you have seen the movie, leave your comments down below. Were some of the musical elements of the movie impress you? Was it a turn down? What did you think of its conducting? Musicians, comment, and non-musicians, comment down below. Does this get you closer to classical music? Does this turn you away from classical music? I want to hear your thoughts. And until next time, I hope you enjoyed that movie. And I think I might watch it a few more times just to get more details in.